WIBTA for refusing to house my pregnant teen sister. My 30M youngest sister, 14F, came to my workplace to tell me that she was pregnant. I was upset when I heard it because she's so young, and the baby daddy had already ditched her. Her environment isn't also good for any child to be living in. We were basically arguing from the very start before my wife, 26F, and son, 1M, arrived. She was confused as to why my sister was here but didn't intervene and told me she could wait for me to talk to my sister, so I did. I suggested my sister to get an abortion because she can't even take care of herself. She sure as hell can't take care of a baby, but she refused. I don't want to force her, so I suggested adoption, and she still refused, which annoyed me. I then asked her how she'd care for the baby. She said she'd get a job. I explained that she won't get any legal job at 14, that's child labor, and part-time jobs won't pay enough anyway. I asked her again, but all her responses were that she'd figure it out. We kept going back and forth. I didn't know how to make her realize the situation, so I tried to tell her that it wasn't fair for an innocent child to live with its drunk grandparents and its mom struggling. She was quiet after that, then blurted out that I could house her and the baby since I have a nice house. I didn't straight up refuse her, but I knew I didn't want to take her in either. So, I asked her about other expenses. She said again that she'd figure it out later, and that was when I knew she wanted a handout and to depend on me again. So, I told her no, I wouldn't take her in. I said she had 3 options: 1, abort it, 2, adopt it out, or 3, keep it but raise it yourself. I also said if she wants to keep it, I can help with some necessities here and there, but I won't raise her baby. She seemed to turn deaf to this part, became defensive, and yelled at me with things like, "You're my brother, you're supposed to help me," or, "Are you gonna leave me and the baby to fend for ourselves, you're heartless." That was when my wife decided to intervene because it had gotten out of hand. My sister seemed to aim her anger at my wife and said, "Mind your own business, you don't even have a job, and he provides for you and your son." And she wasn't done yet. She kept guilt-tripping me, and when I didn't respond, she went back to disrespecting me and my wife. It wasn't until she said something about my wife that made me snap with something more hurtful, which made her cry and stomp out. So WIBTA?